everybody. Hello, subscribers of Antichrist magazine. My name is Broddessonom. I am foremost known for my time in MARDUK and having done many session jobs, including Funeral Mist, Overmood, Black Altar, Blood of Serpents, much more. Having played in my own bands like No Tomorrow, The Head Cow, Excessum, and so on, but today I'm here to answer your questions about my new band, Hild. So, what does Hild mean? Hild basically means battle, struggle, strife. It's an old Nordic word. It's from the old Scandinavian tongue. It's a word that's stuck to me at some point, and I've had it in my mind for quite some time before I got around to actually make a band out of it. And curiously enough, as I'm working on the album ValFreiya with Hild, which has a Valkyrie theme, I come across the information that Hild is also Valkyrie, and I never even thought about that, so that's a nice little synchronicity, I think. Hild the Valkyrie is known to have the ability to reanimate fallen soldiers or warriors in the eternal war known as Jotningavig. ValFreiya is the name of our debut album, which is coming out on October 7th. And it's named after my goddess Freya in her role or shape, whatever you want to call it, as sort of death goddess, where she chooses half of the slain to come to her abode, Folkvanger. She has first pick. Many people don't know this or think about that. The rest is Odin's. And, well, ValFreiya, it means something like ruler, mistress of the dead or the slain, and it's also the name which is usually given to Freya in her role as Queen of the Valkyries. So it's really the only name we could have for this album. And so what's more to say about the actual album is it's 12 songs of violent Swedish metal to clear your fucking ears out, and 12 Valkyries, and that's just it. I mean, listen for yourself. I guess it could be worth mentioning the mod I worked under. This record was written during a 4-week period, but it took, like, in effective working time, it took less than 2 weeks full-time work. I'd say like maybe 70 or 80 hours. It started as an assignment from Freya herself, speaking to me while I was out walking in meditation one night in 2021, late summer, early autumn, and she told me to head back to my studio temple and write a song 2 minutes long. And she suggested I do it as some kind of thrash metal thing, and maybe do it as a first try with Hild, which I had in my head for quite some time. So I went and did that. Took me roughly 5 hours to have the first song ready, which is ValFreiya, the title song. And I got a taste for it. So next day I did the same. Wrote Gundel. Got more taste for it. It turned out like way better than I expected. And I just had this initial surge of energy and inspiration, that divine inspiration people talk about. It just kept coming. So I just kept at it until I had 12 songs. And there we are, and that's ValFreiya for you. What are the lyrics about on this album? Well, to no surprise, I sang about Valkyries. 12 songs, 12 Valkyries are my choice. And it's mostly my own personal experiences, visions, and interactions with these Valkyries, having invoked them in one way or another while writing their respective songs. So I'm channeling and conveying their respective traits and forces out. I can't fucking speak today. Either inside of yourself, receiving them, or in the outside world, in a setting of war and violence. So it's about rising up to the ultimate challenge, your destiny, facing life and death. And well, it's serious stuff. It's mixed with a lot of runic sorcery and stuff like that, and also just some research on the Valkyries, stuff you can find in texts and so on. A lot of it is based on their traits, as I said, which can often be found in their names, which describe how they can be perceived. So it's rising up to the ultimate challenge, facing your destiny, knowing you can die any second, and being your best self, with the help of the Valkyries, or having them come pick you up if you perish. And I mean, it's applicable on your everyday life situations if you want, or in more deeper esoteric senses, or in actual life and death situations. Like, for example, our Ukrainian brothers and sisters who are right now fighting for their freedom and their lives. May you never give up, all right? The album cover is basically me standing on a rock with a spear, with no shirt on and a bullet belt. It's based on a vision or an idea of my dear friend Walter Hultman of Nightmare Productions, who has made the cover, taken the photos, all of the edits, everything like that. He had this idea of how to do it, and I thought, yeah, why not? And we decided on a place, so we went to a little haugura of mine, a little stone temple that I have where I go for meditations and trancing and stuff. And we get there, and immediately the rain starts fucking pouring down, and we had nothing to protect the equipment with, so we just took like 3 or 4 quick pictures, and one of them is the one we ended up using. So quick and spontaneous, right in the line of Hild. And it's imbued, so to speak, tinseled with some imagery from Nordic beliefs that are important to me, and the rest of the artwork, which you will see when you buy the CD or the cassette or both, are basically it's nature settings, dark nature settings with Nordic sorcery imagery. That's about it. I do think it's important. I think it's important for 2 main reasons. One being that it takes the pressure off of yourself to do everything yourself. Because, I mean, you can be totally DIY and you can probably reach very far. But then, again, if you don't have a label, you have to do everything yourself, and that's very time consuming. It takes a lot of energy and money. And if you're an artist, if you're an attention whore like me, it's you want to focus on writing music and performing music. And getting a label just helps you focus on that. And also, I mean, I feel it's like a receipt that what you are doing and trying to reach out with actually has some merit, some worth to it. If someone outside of yourself or your band can actually see something in it and discover worth in it and be willing to put some time and energy and money into it and make it grow. So yeah, I don't think it's necessary, maybe, with a label. But I do think it's important, and to me it's very important. Well, I'm very happy to have a record deal with Odeon Records. That is an impossible question to answer, because I think it's inherent in me, music. I've always felt the current of music and things. I made my own kind of music very early on, just banging on the piano, hearing things in my head. Like, my family heard something else, obviously. It sounded like shit to them. But to me, it was music. It's always been there. It's around me and inside me, and I think this goes for a lot of people. Like right now, answering this question, there's a fly flying around me, and I can hear music in that. It's always been there. I always wanted to make music. And I started doing it as early as I could. So, that's the best answer I got. Well, the music industry, like any industry, it's about money. And where there's money, there's always that fucking need and drive for profit. And there will always be greed, and the focus will always be an economical kind of focus. I don't know, maybe we could shift from that and make it more about art. I don't know. And maybe make it again so that labels actually can pick up bands early on, so that bands don't have to be their own labels up to the point where they are already kind of big before a label even looks at them. But how to achieve that, I don't know. Take away the greed, like in any industry. Epic fails. I don't think I ever done any real epic fails. Maybe getting too drunk so that I knocked over most of the drum kit before we even started to play. Maybe that counts as epic. But that was that kind of event where you could do that, actually. It wasn't anything strange at that particular place. But any big epic live fails, I don't think so, sadly. Sadly. That would be fun to have one to share. Maybe it will come. But that said, I made shitloads of regular fails, like fucking up songs, doing count-offs in the wrong tempo, dropping drumsticks, breaking drum heads, breaking my pedal while playing. Stuff like that. I've done that so many times I can't count it. So I've done a lot of fails live for sure. But epic ones? Sadly, no. None that I can think of. Sorry. I'm sure that I've seen a lot of good new movies and heard a lot of good new music. The problem is to just store it up here and remember it. But to mention a few, a movie I really fucking liked was El Hoyo, the Spanish movie. I think it's called The Platform in English. It's really good, that prison movie. Music, Wolf Brigade's latest release really got to me. That's a nice one. Livsleda, Sepulchral Dedications, really good album. Ceases in the Abyss with Slayer. That's 1990, but to me that's still new Slayer. I'm that fucking old by now. Power Trip, Hornet's Nest. That's a couple of years by now. It's a good song. Kind of rekindled my spark for thrash a little bit even. I'm sure there's a lot more. I just can't think of it right now, but... yeah, course I miss it. I mean, we always had a great time, and it was fucking MARDUK. I mean, I've been a fan of MARDUK since I was like 12 or 13, been cutting my arms listening to Opus Nocturne, Those Are the Light, stuff like that, and I got to be part of it, and they turned out to be absolutely amazing people, all of them, and we always had a great time. And just being on stage delivering with such a powerhouse as MARDUK, yeah, that's an experience, and I'm very fucking happy to have had that. So yeah, of course I miss it. On the other hand, I mean, Destiny had other things in store for me. My back got injured, well, I just couldn't perform the way I should, and that's how it is. We just have to accept things for what they are sometimes and just move forward instead towards new goals. So that's what I'm doing instead. I'm focusing more on that and getting back on stage with, first and foremost, Hild. So I don't actively go around and like miss that time, but of course I do miss that time. I miss the guys in MARDUK, and I miss the times we had. But mostly I'm thankful for having had them and what it has done for me. It has enriched my life immensely, for sure. In my immediate area, the only bands I can think of playing metal that I know of, like right off the top of my head, is Hild and it's Blood of Serpents. And Blood of Serpents are not very active. They exist, but they're not very active. I hope they get back on track soon. So, yeah, metal scene is us, as far as I know. But that said, I tend to just focus on my own stuff and don't really give a fuck about other stuff. So my apologies if there are other bands here that I can't think of right now. I just live under the rock and do my stuff. Now, that said, I want to emphasize once again, I'm just talking about the immediate area around where I live. If you expand that area a bit, there are for sure a number of high-quality metal bands. And, of course, we have to mention also Marcus Småland and Slakt Månad, courtesy of our brother Walter Hundman and the incredible work he's putting down to give us one of the best fucking festivals that has ever been arranged, which is 2 days here in Hultsfred, where he brings some of the finest metal bands from Sweden and abroad right here to Hultsfred. So that's a part of the scene, I guess. The plan for Hild is simple and it's straightforward. We're gonna get the record out. We're gonna get out and play live as much as we possibly can. We're gonna write some new violent Swedish metal tunes for you all. And we're just gonna take it to the top.